Okay, we're going to learn about how to calculate speed, distance and time, and we need to learn a formula to do that. So to find the speed that an object is moving at, you need to do the distance that it's travelled divided by the time it takes to travel that distance. So this will help you with question 1 on your worksheet. Now to answer question 2 on your worksheet, we need to put these variables into a triangle that will help us remember how to calculate the speed, distance and time. So on question 2 on your sheet, there's a triangle that looks like this, and in that triangle you need to put a V here, and then there's already a little multiply, and then you put a D here and a T here. Now the V stands for speed, that represents the speed an object moves at. The D represents the distance the object moves at, the distance the object moves, and then the T represents the time it takes to travel that distance, and this will help you fill in the variables underneath the triangle. Now the way we use this triangle is if you are answering a question and you need to find the speed of an object, you cover up the speed in your triangle, and then you need to do D divided by T. If you wanted to find the distance in a question, so if you're given the speed and the time and you want to find distance, you cover up distance, and the triangle tells you to do the speed times the time. Now if you want to find the time in a question and you're given the speed and the distance, you cover up time, and the formula tells you to do the distance divided by the speed. So the triangle is really, really useful, and I'm going to go through 3 problems now to help you with your homework. And this is the first question. This question will help you to answer question 4 and 5 on your sheet. It's very similar. A man jogs 6 miles, so I'm going to underline that because it seems important, 6 miles in 1.5 hours. Find the speed he jogs at. So I'm going to draw my triangle, and I know that it's speed here, distance up here, and time here. Now it's asking me to find the speed, so I'm going to cover up speed in my triangle, and it's telling me to do distance divided by time. So I need to do the distance the man jogs. He jogs 6 miles. I need to do the distance divided by the time. So I need to divide it by 1.5 hours. And when I do 6 divided by 1.5, I get 4. Now what's really, really important, especially in your homework, is to get your units correct. So because I did miles divided by hours, it's going to be miles per hour. Now sometimes you see this written like this, mph. That's okay if you write that too. So this question is very similar to question 4 and 5 on your homework, so you can have a go at those now. The next question will help you with question 6 and 7 on your homework. It's very, very similar to them. If I drive at 30 miles per hour, I'm going to underline that, for 4 hours, I'll underline that too, how far will I have travelled? So this question is asking me for a distance, because it's asking me how far I have travelled in my car. So I'm going to draw my triangle. I remember that it's speed over here, distance here, then multiply by time here. Now because it's asking me to calculate a distance, I'm going to cover up the D. So that tells me I need to do speed times time. So that's what I'm going to do now. I need to do the speed that I'm driving, that's 30 miles per hour. Remember mph means miles per hour, multiplied by the time, which is 4 hours. Now, if this time was given in a different units to hours, we would have to change it into hours. But it's okay because we've got hours here and hours here, so that's okay. So when I do 30 times by 4, I'm going to get, so if I do 3 times 4, that's 12, so 30 times 4 is 120. Now I need to figure out my units. This is given in miles per hour, and this is given in hours, so that means the distance that I'm measuring is going to be in miles. Okay, and it's okay if you just write an M as well. So that question is very similar to 6 and 7, so you can have a go at those two now. This is the last question we're going to do, and this is very similar to question 8 and 9 on your homework. Find how long it takes me to drive 150 miles at an average speed of 30 miles per hour. So here it's asking me to find how long it takes. It's asking me to find the time, how long it takes me to get there. So I'm going to draw my triangle, and I remember that it's the speed is equal to the distance divided by the time. Now because it's asking me to find a time, I'm going to cover up the t, and the formula is, or the triangle is telling me to do d divided by v, so distance divided by the speed. So I need to do my 150 miles divided by my speed, which is 30 miles per hour. Now I know that when I do 150 divided by 30, I get 5, but I need to figure out my units. If this is in miles and this is in miles per hour, and I'm looking for a time, then it's going to be in hours. Okay, so that will be my units, and you can just put that if you wish to on your homework. So have a go at question 8 and 9 now, and hopefully these 3 examples would have helped you with your homework. There's also an exam question for you to try as well, but you need to make sure you double check your units for that question. Good luck!